but I want to talk about atheism because it's been one of the...
Why? It's so boring.
All right, so
boring. It's just a couple of people wrong in a room being very angry on the internet.
So you don't like atheists. I sense you almost think that atheists don't exist, that there's some sort of inherent
No.
denial.
Lesbians don't exist. Unfortunately, there are. Unfortunately, there are atheists.
So there are atheists. You acknowledge that there are people...
There are lots of wrong people in the world, you know, and one of the kinds of wrong people are atheists. Now the thing I find fun about atheists, I don't really care if somebody believes in God or not. I hope they do. I wish they did, because I know it'd be quite nice if they joined me up there, you know, in 40 or 50 years.
You think there's something up there?
I've got a first-class ticket, you know.
To up there.
She loves me.
Yeah,
yes.
you know,
I'm very confident
there's
about
nothing up there. There's a lighting grid above it. That's it. I mean,
yes, built by men.
Yeah. Fair enough.
No,
but really, I mean,
the reason I have a go at atheists is because it's fun, because they're so thin-skinned. They're like libertarians, or they're like cyclists, or Liberal Democrats in the UK, or you know, any other sort of, or feminists, in fact. You know, so they're so easy to wind up. I mean, you know, because of how many atheists does it take to change a light bulb, and before you've even given the punchline, people are furious, and there's a Reddit thread about it, and they're just so much fun. And
right, but why would you be going after the people that it's easy to go after? I mean, every poll shows that atheists are like the most hated minority in the country.
People would never vote for atheists, these people aren't victims. These people have some of the most celebrated public intellectuals on their side. Richard Dawkins, the late Christopher Hitchens. These people have huge public intellectuals on their side. Militant atheism, if you like. Atheism is the trendiest thing in the world. Every journalist is an atheist. Everybody in the media is an atheist. You know, you're never going to get somebody laugh at you or look at you weirdly for announcing you're an atheist. You announce you're a Christian or a Muslim or maybe especially a Jew, you know, all sorts of bad things happen to you, right? Nobody looks at you funny, except me, I'm probably the only person, if you announce that you're an atheist.
Yeah,
so don't tell me they're victims,
no,
because if you know, this is a privileged group in society that I find it funny to take the mickey out of because they are so touchy.
This is interesting because, so when you were talking about Gamergate, part of what you liked is that there was this groundswell coming up from the bottom fighting this authoritarian system.
And I think religious people are that again now.
But I don't think we're there yet. I get that angle, and this is what all my friends on the right say, that the religious now are the ones being oppressed, and Christians are being oppressed.
I wouldn't go as far as to say oppressed. No. Saying it's basically crazy is wrong. I wouldn't go as far as to say Christians are an oppressed class in this country, because I don't think there are many oppressed classes in this country. I can't really think of, I don't know, maybe black people still. That's probably the only one in this country. I don't think they're an oppressed class, but I do think I've been very ashamed of my fellow homosexuals and the way that they have behaved toward Christians in some of the media circuses that have happened recently. So
I can go with you on that.
Deeply horrified to watch gay people treat Christians as gays were treated barely 2 decades ago.
Sure. So, but
horrible. So I do think there's some value there.
But I have noticed. You know, I did a David Webb, who's going to be a guest on our show in a couple weeks from Fox News and on Sirius XM. I was on his show when gay marriage was being passed by the Supreme Court, or the law was being struck down.
Shame,
I should say.
It's a shame.
Yeah, we'll get to that too in a second. But what he said to me, just literally, I think it was the first day. It was the day that it happened. Was that we should really already start we should start policing the gays to make sure we don't start oppressing Christians. But isn't that don't we have to give it a little time? Don't we have to let gays have a little time to work with?
To be bullies?
Before suddenly accusing them?
No. We don't need to give gay people any time to be bullies. They have shown, and this is something that I always find interesting about people, how they behave when they enter the corridors of power. How people behave when they are granted the status that they have asked for so long. When gays are finally not just equal in society, but held up as models of paragons of virtue. I mean, you read Gawker or BuzzFeed, you would think that being gay was some kind of moral objective, that being gay was better than being straight in some way. You know, I'm not going to say we'll perhaps discuss that in the second half of the show, what I think on that. But you know, but it seems like a weird proposition on the face of it. But if you read BuzzFeed or Vox or Gawker, you'll get that impression. No, I don't think gay people deserve any time to be bullies, to settle into, you know, their position in authority. And I think it does gay people a lot of damage to see these bitter, hysterical, nasty queens bullying and lecturing and hectoring ordinary, decent, law-abiding people of faith. And I thought it was utterly deplorable when that couple, who staged a renewal of their vows. They didn't even have a wedding, but they staged a renewal of their vows because they already had the wedding. Solely, it seemed, to get a photo opportunity with Pizzas for Memories Pizza, which they tricked this Christian pizzeria into catering their thing. Now, set aside the horror I think most gay people at home will feel about pizza at a wedding.
Pizza at a wedding is the carbs.
No, don't even. What I know, I'm Greek and 30, and it's already showing. I've told your cameraman to shoot me from here.
Yeah.
Set that aside. Well, how hollow and bitter. What an awful kind of human being you would have to be to turn your special day, to turn a day of appreciation and celebration between you and your family, the people that you love, into a cheap political stunt.
Right. So
get at people that you think gay people, in many cases, turn themselves into the worst kind of grandstanding bigots. No, they do not need time to settle in. They're very much settled in.
Right. So I'm sort of with you on that because I do understand that. Look, they purposely did this for a Christian baker. Had they gone to an Orthodox Jewish baker or a Muslim baker and forced them to do this, the media wouldn't have nearly the fun that they had.
No, of course.
Talking about Christians. But so just wrapping this around atheism, and then we're going to do everything else we're going to do is gay for the rest of this after this final question. I know it's exhausting. What position of power do you think that I don't see atheists in any position? Yes, there are a couple cool thought of atheists out there, right?
It's not about
Neil deGrasse Tyson or Dawkins.
It's not about positions of power. Now, it's about
but what do you think
social cachet.
So what do you think that the average atheist, which an atheist is only brought together by the lack of belief in a deity?
They're brought together by sort of wispy facial hair, terrible spectacles, sort of long ginger ponytails, terrible thin-skinned natural sort of demeanour, hair trigger temper. These are the primary characteristics of an atheist.
Milo, look at me.
Socks and sandals,
look at me.
Those terrible cheap chinos, all that kind of stuff.
All
If that's
right,
what you want,
you're conceding I won this one.
if that's what you want to aspire to, then go right ahead. But
atheist.
Catholics have
all
all the best outfits. Rich older men in dresses. What's not to love? If you want a sense of style, then you become a Muslim or a Catholic.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look. Atheists it is not just acceptable, but it is the norm in any metropolitan city in Europe or in America to be an atheist. It is normal to be an atheist. People look at you weird if you're not.
Right. So final thought. So what's the problem with that? That's the part.
Problem. I just think it's funny to take the piss out of them.
You just want to make fun of them, even though...
I enjoy making fun of them. I enjoy making fun out of everybody. I enjoy making fun out of you. I enjoy making fun out of myself. I make fun out of myself all day on my Twitter feed. That's what provocateurs do.
All right. Well, I can accept that part. I will grant you that part. I won that. I won that little section, but I don't think.
Well, you can have 1 out of 5. You can have that.